What's going on, guys? Heart Pirates TCG here, your favorite Blurple Croc player, and just Croc player in general, I hope. But guys, I was looking into OP04 and I just could not be more excited. I want to show you guys some really key cards that I think are going to make blue or, blue purple just insane. So let's go ahead and show you. So before we start this video, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to our Discord as well. Link's going to be in the description. We have a lot of fun on there, good conversation. You can buy and sell and trade and all that type of stuff. So join if you want to join. But also, let me talk about, before I go over the cards, let me talk about what I think was Blue's problem this whole time, is that Blue never really had any impactful cards on its own. It was more of a combination of cards. And now that we have our Kaido, we finally have that one boss monster that can actually do something in the deck. Now before, in Blurple Croc we had like Kaido, which, it just never really fit the format because, 8-drop Kid was a thing and, anything else that we could hit just wasn't really that valuable. But now we finally have stuff that can actually combat the board, and we also got, support that gave us the ability to not only combo off, but also be able to control the board with efficient cards, so that's what I think is going to be the main driving point and selling point for Blue going forward. So let me just talk about these cards now, right? So we have Ulti, Dawn, it's a 3/4 1k counter. Dawn 1, when attacking, return a cost of 2 or less to the bottom of the owner's deck. Fantastic to combat red or red-green's early aggression. That could really help a lot, bottom decking their Bonnies, or at least making them wait a turn to play it until they can shambles it off and get their value. This is actually a really good card. I think it's going to be a staple in Blurple Croc, at least to deal with the early aggression. And then we have the big card that we've been waiting on for a long time. Finally a good card for Blue, and it is a Kaido. It's a 10/12. On play, return an 8 or less and up to 1 3 or less to the owner's hand, right? So we can finally deal with 8-drop Kid, Katakuri, Big Mom, all of that. And then we can also deal with cards like starter deck Zoro, Okiku, cards like that. I think that's going to be really good going forward. Then we have now, so this is our good standalone card. This is a good standalone card too, Ulti. Kaido is the main one though. Now the next 3 cards I'm going to show you are going to be working in combination with each other. They might see play, they might not, just depending on how builds go, but I think they're very interesting to try out. Now this one, Queen in particular, is leader locked behind Animal Kingdom Pirates. So on play, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal up to 2 total playgrounds or ice onis and add them to your hand, then place the rest of the bottom of your deck. So if you guys don't know what these are, ice oni right here. Your turn, at the end of battle between this character and an opponent's 5 cost or lower character, place the opponent's character at the bottom of the owner's deck. Really cool, right? It's really cool. Now it is an 8 cost 0 with a 1k counter. You're never really going to be playing this out unless you're really down bad. But yeah, so you're gonna be able to bottom deck Laws, you're gonna be able to bottom deck X-Drakes, you're gonna Luffy's, Marcos, just a lot of like really annoying cards. Fujitora plays a lot of 5 cost blockers. You're gonna be able to bottom deck those. Sanji coming out in the next set, and that works well with what is this right here? Okay, so Plague Shot, right? So it's a 2 cost event. Main, you may trash 1 ice card from your hand and place 1 character with a cost of 4 or less on the bottom of the owner's deck, then play 1 ice oni from your trash. So I have asked about this ruling, and I'm very excited to say that you can use the ice plague or the ice oni that you discard. I've asked judges about this. You can use it as the card you play. So you can bottom deck a 4 or less, discard that ice oni, and then play it. The same ice oni you discard, which is really good. Now the best part is, with this Plague Shot and the ice oni, this is not limited to any Animal Kingdom Pirates deck, right? So you can use these, especially if you're drawing a lot of cards in like Blurple Croc or something like that, with Sanji's Peel-Off. You can use these in combination with a leader other than Animal Kingdom Pirates. So that's going to be really interesting as well. I think that's really cool. And this card I think is very underrated, but I think it's going to be a staple in Blurple Croc as well. It's a 4/6, no counter, but Dawn 1, once per turn, when you activate one of your events, draw a card, then place a card at the bottom of your deck to your hand, or place a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. Guys, this is automatically with Croc like a draw 2, sometimes even a draw 3 if you're playing Love Mellow. So and then you obviously bottom deck one, but sometimes you have dead cards in your hand. This can cycle them out. You no longer have to play cards like Gum Gum Rain or anything like that. This is in almost all scenarios, this is a draw 2 bottom deck 1 or a draw 3 bottom deck 1. It is very rare that you're not going to be able to get this effect off. You do have to attach a Dawn on it, I understand, which means if you do this with your leader, Blurple Croc and this card, it's, you're only playing with 8 Dawn and, 1 or 2 of them have to go for events. That's totally fine. The point of Blurple Croc isn't to play events every single turn. It's to set up a decently controlling board and then be able to outlast your opponent with the sustain that you get from the draw power. So like if you just like stick this character on the board, like drawing these cards, 2 or 3 times if they can't kill it is going to be a huge advantage for you. You're going to be able to cycle through your deck, get cards that you want, get the Ice Oni if you want to. Going to be really cool. Next one let's talk about is this is another way to deal with the red aggression right here. It's going to be some of you guys don't know this, but this is it's called Dragon Twister Demolishing Winds. I think this card is insane. Counter, give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 4,000, just like Love Love Mellow or Overheat. Then place up to one character the cost of 1 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. Now, obviously, this is not going to be a staple. It just depends on how the meta goes. But if your meta is full of red and like Zoro or Law or Ace or something like people that play 1-cost cards that like you might be worried about, this card is an easy way to get rid of their aggression on top of like, your leader swings and things like that. It's amazing. And then the trigger is a mini Sobbles, bounce a 6 or less to the bottom of the owner's deck or to the owner's hand, which is fantastic, right? And then more bouncing comes from this last card we're going to talk about is Gum Gum Red Rock, right? So we started off with set 3 with 3,000 worlds, which on play bottom decks a 5 or less. And the trigger bottom deck to 3 or less, right? Now we have this 6-cost event that can literally bottom deck anything. 10 drop Big Mom, bottom deck. Newgate, bottom deck. Any problem that you have, bottom deck it. It is insane. And the trigger is place a 4 or less to the bottom of the owner's, to the bottom deck of 4 or less. It is just so good, guys. And there's going to be versions of Croc that I think are going to be very, very, very powerful and very annoying if you could just get these off, because it's just so good at controlling the board now, which is perfect because that's what I'm happy blue has finally become. Green was always a much better control deck, even though it really wasn't like trying to be a complete control deck. But this is actually a better version of green now. Instead of resting your characters, like they still have a chance to save them. Now they just go back to the hand, and you have to waste an entire turn to replay them. The only cards that suck to like bounce back are cards that like happen when they when on play, like red searchers or Big Mom trashing a life and gaining a life. Cards like that, like you're still not going to get a lot of value. But this is gonna be the bane of a lot of cards' existence. For example, like if you play, I don't know, like for example, Bullet or something like that. It's an 8 cost. I bottom deck it for 6 if I play the Croc engine, what I'm saying, the 7-cost Croc, which I'm not sure, whatever. But they can lower the event cost by 1. There's a lot of ways to like be able to just manage your opponent's board in a cost-efficient way and still like have big attacks and threats on the field. I think this is going to be very, very, very good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.